Would all the dignitaries please report to the track in front of the grandstand, along with Mr. Paul Stenson. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, staff, students, and alumni of Central Kitsap High School, would you please direct your attention to the track? We have a very, very special presentation tonight to honor one of Central Kitsap's finest. After 38 years of outstanding teaching and coaching, Mr. Paul Stenson is retiring. For this special occasion, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the following dignitaries who are with Paul on the track. Would you raise your hand when you are introduced, please? Mr. Franklin McKenzie, Executive Director of Secondary Education. Steve Coons, Principal at Central Kitsap High School. Bill Baxter, Athletic Director of CK. Lori Ann LaFontaine, President of Central Kitsap High School Boosters. And Larry Toot, coach and close friend of Paul Stenson. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Stenson began his career at Central Kitsap High School in 1977. And during his tenure, he coached 10 teams at Central Kitsap High School. Football, diving, tennis, girls bowling, cheer, cross country, boys soccer, girls soccer, boys golf, and girls golf. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul's leadership at Central Kitsap was amazing. Senior class advisor, Skills USA advisor, bringing national prominence in broadcast news media production nationwide. And ladies and gentlemen, we all know Paul too as the announcer. Wrestling announcer, track and field, baseball, boys and girls basketball, and will continue as the voice of Cougar football. At this time, Cougar Boosters would like to present to Coach Stenson a plaque. It reads, "Thank you for your dedication at Central Kitsap High School, as well as a gift card of $100 to Gold Mountain Golf Course." Also at this time, Steve Coons, CK's principal, has a plaque. It reads, "Paul Stenson, in honor of 38 years of dedicated service to the students and staff of Central Kitsap School District, 1977 to 2015. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Paul Stenson for making a difference in the lives of our youth. Ladies and gentlemen, staff, students, and alumni, will you please all rise with a band and cheer to perform the Cougar Fight Song for Mr. Paul Stenson. Mr. Stenson, it's time to announce Cougar football. Welcome our visitors from the Capital Cougars against the Cougars of Central Kitsap. Officiating tonight's game, referee Fred Perkins, umpire Tim Kelly, Head linesman Nick Bartow. Line judge Zach Brown. Track judge Rob Schauger. And change crew assistant Ron Bell.
Welcome to West Sound TV Presents High School Football 2015 and streaming live on the KitsapSun.com from Silverdale Stadium as we have a battle of the Cougars tonight. The Central Kitsap Cougars host the Capital Cougars from West Olympia. I'm the Dr. Doc Parr. We've got Spencer Anderson on the camera and streaming it for the Sun on the KitsapSun.com/GOTW Game of the Week, thanks to Peninsula Subaru. And my partner on the other side of the microphone, Kitty Campagna. And Kitty, the Cougars 2-0 in the 3A Narrows League division.
Well, they just basically take those first two games and say, we're going to play around, and they take them truly as preseason because it's not going to count in their Narrows League. They're in great position right now. Last year, they kind of had a similar start and made it with the final playoff position, looking to do a little bit better this year. They were up like 4 points away from second place, so pretty impressive.
Now, I know the 4A has 3 teams going to post, and I believe it's the same for the 3A Narrows. Do they have 3 or 4?
Last year it was 4.
Okay.
Now, they have a tendency to rotate years and do some unique things, but you just never know.
Well, we want to thank Peninsula Subaru for making it possible for the Kitsap Sun to stream this game live. And I hope we have some of you folks down at Olympia, like Joshy and his family down there.
Well, I know
watching it on the internet.
We had a grandmother from California call me today saying, hey, if I don't see it live, is there a way I can still catch it? And let me find out, she is Jack Collard's grandmother. So she's going to be watching us sometime. So we got to say some nice stuff about number 4, a sophomore for Olympia.
All right, and it's going to be Capital that kicks off. The Cougars in the white and red. Toss was won by CK, and they wanted to take it to start out with, and this is absolutely why, I guess.
Uh-oh, flag.
Oh, bummer. Wow.
Your favorite name, Doc.
What a great return.
That was DeAndre Sincere.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, as you said, there was a hanky down, and we're going to have to see where that is. It probably will move CK back. But what a nice return. What a great way to start out. It's homecoming, too.
It is homecoming. We had some festivities early where they were celebrating Paul Stenson and his many years of service to CK and his retirement. Now, I don't see that changed anything, Doc. That must have counted. No points
it
up.
Was a warning. Crowd or line back.
Oh, wow.
And the first time is a warning.
Sure.
So CK puts a first 6 on the board.
Well, that is exciting. And
it sure is. What a way to start out the first, would that be 13 seconds?
We'll take it, that's for sure.
CK will try for the single PAT. And it is good.
You and I are remembering we have to watch our 2 guys right near the goalpost. There have been times we've thought those are good, but we have to trust them in stripes.
Yes, indeed. Well, it was great, the ceremony to honor Paul before the game. That was wonderful. We've always enjoyed working with Paul. And Paul has been, for the last number of years, the video production teacher at CK. Won a number of national awards for their broadcast journalism program. And so I've been in contact with him there as well as at the stadium and at the gym.
Well, and if you want to know the many aspects of coach, check out the article by Annette Griffiths in the Kitsap Sun that was today. It is all-encompassing.
Yep, that was a great story by Annette there. And great to see Mr. John Sitton
The golden voice himself.
John and I are waiting for that round ball season to begin. We will have some other round ball. It's kind of like the pork is the other white meat. Volleyball, I guess, is the other round ball.
I thought you were going to try to tell me if football was round, and I was going to explain some things to you.
We know that.
Kevin White with the kickoff.
Two receivers down about the 10-yard line for Capital, and the Cougars' first receiver drops it by fallen on by number 43 at about the 23-yard line. That would be Dexter Morton there. And again, the Capital Cougars on the west side of Olympia.
Well, and last time when these two teams met, the score was 0-3. Capital won it in overtime on a field goal. Not something that Coach Keel wants to see repeated. He said last year they had a chance about 5 times in the first half to get into the end zone.
And I assume that was probably at Capital down in Olympia.
That is correct.
Well, we've got number 16 out there.
So Doc, I noticed that he was a captain, and he's not on our list.
No, he's not. Oh, nice pass, actually, but even a better job at D that time.
But I have a name for you because I am all prepared.
Good. All right.
It is Grant Erickson, a freshman. And I only know that because I read the article in the paper close enough today.
16 is Grant
Erickson.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll bring up second down and 10 for the Capital Cougars. I guess we're going to have to identify which Cougars.
You're not going to be able to just say Cougars tonight.
Or Cougs.
Nope, exactly. You'll think it's Wazoo.
Hand up by Grant to Willie Broxton Jr. Head coach for the Capital Cougars is John Johnson, and of course the head coach for a number of years now. I couldn't believe it. It's like
16. You're right. Someone asked me how long I was doing this, and I said 10 years, and then I realized, no, it's been more than that. So
head coach Mark Keel out there for the Central Kitsap Cougars. That'll bring up third down and long, at least 9 to get that first.
Quick turn by number.
Erickson's got his receiver who has it, and it's going to be far enough for a first down for Capital. So they'll move the flags out to, they're going to place it on the 35-yard line.
That catch was made by Zach Smith, number 5, a senior. You could see that play developing, or at least our coaches up here in the booth could, where he went down in motion along the line and then turned upfield.
So first down for the Capital Cougars. The CK Cougars already on the board with 7-0. Now we've just begun this first quarter, game number 2 in the doubleheader. Not a bad run there to pick up a couple of yards on that one for number 40 from Capital, and that would be Chase Vandiver.
Just a sophomore. Obviously, Coach Johnson not afraid to use some younger underclassmen here. When you're starting a freshman at quarterback, that's always kind of interesting.
Well, he's had 2 passes, and both of them have looked pretty decent.
First one was well defended by CK.
Yep. And after the running back, and nice job that time by CK's 44, who would be Isaiah McGee.
Isaiah, one of the captains for this Central Kitsap Cougar squad.
And I believe we have said that McGee name more than once.
More than once,
in
yeah.
Central Kitsap sports.
You will notice it when it goes to the offensive side as well, as he was their lead running back in the last game where he had 25 rushes for 153 yards.
Yeah, they picked up about 5 there, maybe a little over. So it's third down now, 5 for Capital. Erickson dropping back, pulls it down, decides to run it. He'll get to the 40, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough for first down. I guess they'll give him the 46 on that.
I like the protection he had was amazing. I'm actually amazed he tucked it in so quickly because it didn't look like the Central Kitsap was getting in on him.
And they only needed 6 to get that first down. They had a couple of potential receivers cutting across there. So this will be the first punt of the game, and Capital will be booting it away to CK. And the coaches up here are wisely telling the defender to get away. So it looks like CK will begin this first offensive set at the, what would that be, about the 14-yard line, even though they're up by 7, thanks to a 100-yarder almost a 100-yard
I think I wrote it down as about 90.
It was close. It was down there right around the 10 where he picked it up. Yep. That was a great way to open
I know,
the game.
we were in shock.
First down for Central Kitsap, and ball gets loose, goes close to the end zone, but not in. So smart job that time by the quarterback for CK.
Now they've been starting Tyler Tubbs, and number 8. I'm just trying to catch some numbers here. I believe it is 8 again. Tyler is a sophomore. Coach has liked what he has done, and he said he doesn't have to win it himself. He just needs him to be the quarterback, set up things.
Yeah, it's usually the way it works in a team game.
Yeagle being used as what they call an H-back or a slot receiver. He got the ball on that one.
Yeah, it's going to bring up third down and close to actually 21 yards to go for CK. They've got to get it out almost the 25-yard line to keep this drive going. Uh-oh, that's going nowhere. Great job on the defense that time by Capital.
He grabbed the ankle. That looked like that had a potential, and going to be a really tough kick out of the end zone now.
Not much room back there, and you know the Capital defense might be a little fired up holding CK back like that. Let's see if there's a big full-time rush going on.
All started with a great punt where it put them within their own 20.
No rush at all. Ball hits the ground, picked up at about the 40-yard line of CK, down to the 30, 25, and looks like about the 23 is where they're going to bring down Zach.
With that run back.
Senior, 5'10". So with 6:42 left to go in the first quarter here, that Capital Cougars have pretty good starting position at the CK 25-yard line.
Whenever you're listening to games, they're always talking about changing your field position. Boy, did Capital ever manage to do that from way back at about the 35, and suddenly they are at the Central Kitsap Cougar 25.
And after number 6 running it for the Capital Cougars, they'll take it down to the 20, and that would be Willie Broxton.
And a flag is down.
Hold against Capital. That'll move them back 10, down over. Want to say hi to the man in the white hat, our good friend Fred Perkins out there.
He is that man. Now you're going to make me find my list.
Of the other ones.
I have them, I do.
I saw it.
Our referees, Fred Perkins, the umpire, Tim Kelly, head linesman, Nick Bartow, line judge, Zach Brown, back judge, Rob Schauger, and then the chains are being held by Ron Belts. Is that somehow appropriate? Belts doing the chains. And a lot of these guys were in the first crew in that Olympic Port Angeles game. That Olympic won handily.
I was going to say, Olympic came away with another W. There, they and North Kitsap undefeated. We don't know in league. I don't know North's score tonight yet, of course.
Well, I bet you Spencer will be able to find out for us since that was
an earlier game.
Oh, it was a little bit earlier because what time did we finally start? 7:45?
Something like that, yeah.
Excellent play by Yeagle that time, bringing down the running back for a loss of downs, or loss of yardage, not down.
Second down and 17.
they actually picked up a couple. They got moved. Well, you're right. It was probably about even, but they did get moved back for 10.
That's true.
So they got maybe one in aggregate, which of course they don't do at the Sun anymore. But,
That's called an agate.
oh, I thought it was aggregate.
Nope, it's actually called an agate.
Okay, I thought it had something to do with the financial markets in D.C. or something. Well, we do want to thank the Kitsap Sun. They're great to work with, and we really appreciate them. I know there's been a bunch of people, besides the lady you mentioned, there's actually been a bunch of people that we've talked to that have been able to see the games thanks to the Kitsap Sun and Peninsula Subaru.
It is. We think it is so cool to be able to share the talents of the student athletes from our area with the world, as you're always saying, Doc.
That's it, and sometimes a really fun game. That Erickson, he's not afraid to keep it.
Well, that's kind of his option. I think he was supposed to do the pitch to the outside, and that was blown up. There was no chance.
Nope. And again, good D by CK.
Yeah, CK's D finally really starting to show themselves.
Now remember, we did Central and Olympic a few weeks ago. Dave Ziesmer and I and Spencer were down here. And Olympic won. CK looked kind of rough around the edges back then.
Again, remember, these were their preseason. They started out their season not real well against South Kitsap as well, but starting to gel as a team.
I mean, I was going to say, so far, looking much better. I mean, as I remember, Dave was talking about the penalties, and CK just had a ton of them. And unfortunately, some of them were in positions where they were actually moving the ball nicely, heading towards the end zone, and just got pushed out of it.
Doc, in that SK game, CK started with at least 3 procedure penalties in a row that turned into a safety. So those are things that coaches can work with, and what growth that is if these kids are looking that much better.
Well, yeah, that was the ultimate result of my story. Was that
you were getting
so
there, weren't you,
far
Doc?
tonight in the first 7 minutes, they've been looking much better. And we did have one flag, but it was against Capital.
So we had a timeout there.
They're down now, and it's still a good. Well, they put 18 up on the board for Capital to keep the drive alive. And freshman Grant Erickson, he's a tall young man.
I know, I kept saying, that can't be a freshman. We'll have to be looking for him on the basketball court,
I was going to
think,
say,
too.
we may see him on the hardwood.
With that round ball that you were talking about.
He's got one back there with him, and that would be Willie Broxton. And it's a handoff to Broxton. He's at the 30. And down to about the 26. It's still not anywhere near enough for a first down. But picked up some decent yardage. And now they're going to place it just about the 26. And they are going to go for a field goal, it looks like.
Well, then that makes perfect sense why they at least got almost half of the yardage on that.
And they moved it into the middle of the field, towards the middle. It'll be Van Soderberg kicking. Pretty good kick, but we won't call it until now. When the men in stripes put their hands up. So he was on about the 26, add another, 15 maybe? 36, 39, 40-yard field goal for the young man. Very nice. And so Capital on the board at the 4:08 mark here in quarter number 1 with 3. CK is still up 7-3, but this is starting out like this might be a pretty fun ball game.
Well, Soderberg, if he was with them last year, he is the person who won the game for Capital last year because they won by a field goal. That is quite the leg. He didn't have a lot of height on that, but you don't need it if you got the distance.
Yep, and if you get it up over that line of defenders there up front, which he did.
That does become important, that line of defenders, exactly.
So Capital will kick off, and CK will have another opportunity here for an offensive drive. Soderberg also the kicker.
Elijah McGee, and probably that one's got some distance. He's not going to be allowed. He wanted to come out. He wanted to come out so badly.
It was caught in the end zone, and that was DeAndre. DeAndre Sincere with it. And of course, in high school ball, if it goes into the end zone, whether you catch it or not, you can't run it back out. So CK starts at the 20.
The automatic touchback, but much better starting position at least this time. Something for Tubbs to work with.
Man goes in motion, handoff to the running back, and maybe half a yard picked up on that. Pretty good stop by Capital.
That was McGee with the run.
Second down and a long 9. McGee behind Tyler. Man in motion back to Isaiah. This time Isaiah's got himself some running room. He's to the 40 before he's brought down. A pickup close to 20 yards. Nice job.
Isaiah marked at 5'6", 200 pounds. He's one of those solid running backs that we love seeing.
That's what fullbacks used to be.
Exactly.
And there he is as a running back because he's a bit faster than many fullbacks used to be.
Well, and at the high school level, a 200-pound running back, really tough to bring down.
Yes, indeed. All right, first down for the Cougs here on homecoming night at Silverdale Stadium. McGee will take it again over that left tackle and guard position, and this time he picks up very little yardage.
Interesting formation on that last one with 3 receivers out here on this side. Wasn't sure what they were doing and if they were really all supposed to be clumped together like that.
Well, Tyler's not afraid to go to the air. Second down and about 9. And there he is, going to the air, across the middle. Nice pass and reception.
Read the blitz perfect.
Yep.
Got rid of it quickly.
That would be 88 out there. Dawson Crow.
Dawson, a junior, 5'11".
I like those fast passes.
Well, the quick
across
slant
middle.
across the middle is always, I think that's always been one of your favorites.
Yes, indeed. Now 2 men behind Tyler. He'll send McGee out, hand it to the other running back. The ball is loose, and I think Capital's going to come away with it. Let's see. Oh, they're going to say CK recovered. Ooh, that was a big break for CK. And, you know, from the very beginning at the handoff, it didn't look good. He didn't quite have control of it at the handoff.
I think part of that is he had 2 options with that particular play. McGee had gone out to the right for a screen, and so he had the option to fake the handoff and make that pass or hand it to the first back through.
McGee in motion again from the backfield. Quick pass across the middle. And down to close to the 36, 37 yard line in Capital territory. That moved the yardage marker about 8.5 yards. 8 yards, bring up 3rd down and 2. And now are we starting to see the CK hurry up game?
A little bit.
After last week there at South Kitsap, we had
I
to
forgot
catch our
there were
breath.
huddles. I just did. I didn't even know they existed.
I like that. That was a fun game. Oh, there we go. Right up through the middle that time. That was Yeagle.
Exactly what they needed at that point. Just a couple of yards to get the first down, keep the chains moving.
And we're under a minute. 52 seconds now here in this first quarter. And CK has the ball on the capital 34-yard line.
McGee's fighting his way through.
Yeah, he'll pick up a couple on that one. He's a strong, I mean, like you said, that weight and height is just like a train.
Well, I know they had a little bit bigger one, DeWalt at South Kitsap, that they called the bowling ball. He's not quite that, but he's got some good size to make it through.
And he will come out. And number 27 coming in the game, that's DeAndre Sincere. Second down, about 8 yards to get to the first down marker. And it's DeAndre with it. He's to the 30. That was a pretty nice stop that time by number 9. That's Cody Washington for the Capital Cougars. That was a pretty good job.
Cody Jenkins.
Jenkins, okay. Yep.
I don't have lines underneath those for you, Doc. Sorry. And that's going to end the first quarter.
All right, double zeros, and the CK Cougars up 7-3.
Welcome back to the second quarter of the Cougar versus Cougar battle here at Silverdale Stadium tonight. I'm Kitty Campagna on the mic here, and we've played some musical chairs up in the booth, giving Spencer Anderson a chance to share his thoughts on our football game tonight. So he's going to be on the second mic, and Doc Parr moving to camera for us. So Spencer, what are you thinking about what happened in that first quarter?
It went really quick.
Don't we love that?
Yeah, I mean, two big plays really, both by CK, the return and then the fumble that set the other Cougars up for the 3 points.
Go ahead to, beautiful pass, and he breaks free, and CK's gonna score.
Caleb Bates with the catch on the touchdown, and that's 3 completions in a row for CK, getting a little rhythm in their passing game.
Bates, what a huge reception, and then the run after is what I thought was really good.
Yeah, and the defender was in a good position, which kind of made it harder for him to make the tackle because he was kind of trying to knock the ball away at the same time, which set Bates up to kind of shrug him off and get right into the end zone for 6.
In to kick is Kevin White. There is quite the rush, but our men in stripes say it's good. And it is a 14-3 lead for Central Kitsap. They have this thing that at the beginning of quarters, they seem to like to score.
Yeah, exactly. 2 touchdowns. The first one came 13 seconds into the first quarter. The second one 7 seconds into the second quarter. And it's funny now, with all these extra points, we have to watch and wait till we see the referees after what happened last week over at South.
Well, we were convinced there was an extra point, and somehow we missed that one, but none missed so far this evening. But we have to thank the Kitsap Sun for bringing this to you live, and definitely if you know someone who wanted to see it, you can check on their archives on their site, and you can watch it at any time. We love to see the live numbers, but we love to see some other numbers, just proving that people are getting a chance to watch these young men show their skills.
Yeah, you can always, you see a cool play, you mark down that timestamp, text your friend, say, hey, go on to YouTube, watch it this time to see the play, and save them the time of trying to get to it.
Well, that's the beauty of the replay. You can go anywhere you want on it. And then the beauty of the regular one is you can kind of run your own replays and still catch up to the game.
Little online TiVo for you.
Kevin White with the all the way into the end zone, so that's going to be a touchback. And Capital will get it at their own 20.
Yeah, kind of weird by Capital. They're playing way up. There was room for them to catch that out of the end zone if they wanted to return it, but they had both their guys at about the 17-yard line on that one, expecting a shorter kick.
Exactly. It was their choice, and it doesn't hurt them immensely, but it probably hit, what do you think, the 17? Or maybe more like the 12.
Yeah, and kind of dangerous too because it is a live ball, so if it bounced any other direction, CK would have had a chance to get down on it.
First man through. And we just have you up here for your young eyes, Spencer, so you can tell us who everybody is, huh?
Yeah, that was Willie Broxton Jr. with the run, and he hasn't had much success yet, but CK's done a good job containing him. He does have a couple quick lateral cuts, and he almost got to the corner on that one, but good backup by CK.
This Capital team comes in at 1-1 in league and 1-3 overall with a victory over, let's see, last week they beat Foss. And the freshman quarterback had 4 touchdown passes in the first quarter in that one. Now they're trying the run.
And that was Broxton Jr. again getting to the edge. Kind of interesting that Capital came out in the first play of the game. They took a deep shot, and since then they haven't really gone back to it. And CK did cover it well. It'll be interesting to see if they try to spark the offense on this drive because they haven't really got anything going, and their points were mainly a result of the field position they got.
Exactly. I know that what I read said that they do some running, but they really do like the pass. So I expect to see a little bit more out of the freshman, Erickson. Erickson back, hands it to the first man through, but the run's working on this particular one. He's out to the 45, he's at the 50. He is in Central Kitsap Cougar territory.
That was a great move by Broxton again, and then Isaiah McGee chasing him down, the big fella, giving him that little extra effort, or else that could have been a touchdown.
We spoke how that McGee's pretty quick for his size at 200 pounds, and had he not had the quicks, that might have been 6 for Capital.
And Capital's run the same play 3 times in a row now, just a different side. Interesting to see what CK does to try to respond to it.
That time he had a couple receivers out there. Number 5, wide open. Oh, takes a tumble. No flags. Pretty much looked like they tangled up some feet out there was all.
Yeah, kind of an ill-advised throw. CK's safety was sitting right there, and if the throw would have been on target, I think CK would have picked it off. They had 3 guys in the area.
Caleb Bates, who had that reception minutes ago, could have gone with one going the other way.
Yeah, it would have been a big stop for CK, especially after the last couple runs.
Erickson still back in the shotgun. Hands it to the second man through. He runs into several players, but then finds an opening all the way down to almost the 30. First down for Capital.
And the same run again, where it's kind of straight up the gut, and he goes in and sits right behind his offensive lineman for just a split second. And the CK defensive end not holding the edge and kind of getting sucked right up into it. And then he makes 2 cuts, and he's in the second level.
Well, he has such good patience. He gets behind, and it looks like it's stopped, and then he's also quick. He's got a quick cut to make it happen.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange running motion. He looks like a true font to me, the way he moves, which is just really weird to see him coming out of the backfield.
There are true fonts from this state, that's for sure. Tackle by number 4, Kendall Yeagle. He only gains about 1. That's going to be 2nd and 9.
That was a good job by the CK defense, going kind of to the edge first and not trying to get sucked up in the middle like they had the last few plays.
Capital with their best actual full-length drive right now. Not their best field position quite yet. Erickson back with 2-man with with him. Number 5 in motion goes forward. Oh, that should be intercepted, and it is. He's down to the 45, the 50. We got a block down there, and he is free. He is going the entire distance. Touchdown, Central Kitsap.
Looks like Caleb Bates, the cornerback with the pick 6, read the quarterback's eyes. They rolled him to the left, and he's a right-arm quarterback, so it took him a couple seconds to set up and throw, and by the time he set up, gave the quarterback just enough time to get over there and get in front of the wide receiver.
You talked about the last time being an ill-advised throw. We are right there again with an ill-advised throw, or maybe just a poor throw, too high, and Bates was ready for it.
Yeah, and so far their pass plays have just taken a little too long to develop because they're doing it out of the read option, and then it's having to find people further downfield, which may not be the quarterback's strength. So we'll see if they come back with some quick passes because they'll be getting the ball right back.
White in for the kick again. They are coming off the edges, but not quick enough. That's going to be 21-3. And Coach Keel has got to be thrilled with what he's seen with these guys. He said last year they had so many opportunities in the first half against Capital and could not capitalize, as he would put it. But this time they are taking advantage of every opportunity out there.
Yeah, and CK is just looking fired up, which is kind of strange because we did cover them a couple weeks ago, and they were just kind of a flat game, and there wasn't much emotion for them, but they came out here firing tonight and confident, and it's been good to see them.
In the Narrows 3A, they are tied for first with Lincoln right now, 2 teams at 2-0. CK winning their first 2 league games, 64-0 against Mount Tahoma, and defeating North Thurston 23-22. And that was with a touchdown catch by, I believe it was Yagel, with a minute 34 left. Pretty exciting game down at North Thurston.
Yeah, well, and you know, if you're going to lose a couple games, you might as well lose those out-of-league early season games. So CK might have the right formula going this year.
You might think they're trying to find their formula, but it doesn't. They only had 50-some guys come out, so there's not a lot to change in your recipe. It just seems as if they have come out fired up tonight. Maybe it's the homecoming thing.
Yeah.
Kevin White with the kickoff. Sends it a good distance again. This time, the Capital guy back there at the right positioning. He's finding some openings and goes down. That's Zach Smith.
Yeah, the kicker with the tackle, filling up the lane. We saw some kickers the last few weeks step out of the way of some tackles, or in the preseason we saw a couple kickers get injured in the NFL trying to make those kind of tackles, but he stood right there and went down low and took the guy down.
Which is important because that was going a distance. He already had a really nice run back at the 30, their own 39, 1st and 10, the Capital Cougars. It is really tough not to just to say Cougar, because you're not going to know who we're talking about, except you have the lovely picture coming from Doc Parr up there on camera. And first man through. Picks up 4. Willie Broxton with the carry again.
Yeah, nice play call with the draw up the middle as we saw CK kind of adjust to trying to send some people around the edges a little more after Willie was getting around the corner. So they run him right up the middle and they pick up 4 yards.
The other thing they had success with was that quick pass. When they went to Zach Smith the one time, he had been in motion, and that was a nice play. He is out to the right side as we look at the field tonight, along with number 9, Cody Jenkins. Freshman behind the line, hands it off to number 40, all the way to what looks like a first down for the Cougars.
Yeah, nice play to Chase Vanderveer. Switching it up a little bit. He'd been the fullback the last few plays, and, CK just had not accounted for him right there.
Just a sophomore, 5'11", 210. We're one of those big 200-plus pound running backs, tough to bring down. He had a little bit of bowl in the end of that run.
And you just give all the defensive linemen and linebackers just one more thing to think about at that mesh point.
CK making sure they have all the receivers covered. There is no doubt they can hear the coaches from here. Up for about a 4-yard run, maybe even 5, number 22.
Chris Hiei, third running back, getting into the mix, and again, a nice gain for Capital.
Broxton, the only one who's a senior. The other two running backs that we've seen, both sophomores. So Coach Johnson with some youth out there. Looking over to the sideline, 2nd and 6 in Central Kitsap territory. Just a huge hole.
And that was Chris again, right up the gut. And just a good job play calling by Capital, because sometimes you can be calling plays and you just feel like you have to mix it up. And we saw that on their last drive, where they kind of forced a couple pass plays into the mix when they were still getting good yardage running. So it looks like they're going to go back to just trying to ground and pound as much as they can and wear CK down.
When you're getting 4 or 5 yards on a run, or in that case, a good almost 20, certainly the way to go. 1st and 10 on the 30. Not quite into the red zone yet. Number 40, first man through. Chase Vandiver.
That's the first time this drive that CK has gone to stop within the first couple yards, setting up a good 2nd and long, and maybe making the Capital play caller think about throwing a pass in or something.
Yeah, you have to force that on the first down. If you can stop them for 1 or 2 yards or a loss in this case, that really changes what the calls are. Everybody looking over to the sideline, getting the call. Continue with the hurry-up offense. No huddles in this high school anymore. Oh, not brought down.
And that was Chris again. CK staying with 2 safeties deep. So pretty much telling Capital, don't even try throwing, because Capital, before each snap, you'll see them look over to the sideline and their coach will make an adjustment on the play if need be. And CK is pretty much just telling them to run it, only keeping 7 guys in the box.
I believe the scouting report they had, or from what I'd heard, was that Capital liked to pass a lot, so I can see why they are preparing for that, but that has certainly opened up the running game. Vandiver in the backfield with Erickson. And behind number 22, this time looked like they were trying to strip the ball, but no success.
Yeah, getting really close to the first down. I think just a tiny bit short. It might set up a 4th and about a 1.
Chain gang shows that for you, that it is 4th and 1. We know that capable of making a field goal from this distance, but what the coaching staff wants to do for Capital, we're not sure.
Yeah, this is an interesting call. Capital's down 18 right now, 4 minutes left in the first half, and you know they'll get the ball to start the second half, and they're opting to go for it, feeling like they really need to put some points up now.
CK still not with a whole lot in the box, but what a stop, number 4.
Yeagle with a big moment time to get into the backfield. That's what you want. And, you know, CK essentially was just telling them that they're going to have to do the right thing every play.
Kendall Yeagle blew that up. He got back there. An excellent article about him in that football preview and how much he has been working on his football playing skills. Central Washington's looking at him. Eastern Washington's looking at him. Those are some quality football programs.
Yeah, Capital really needs to get a stop here and get some points on the board before half.
with the low snap, able to pick it up and he lost a couple, but at least he did not lose the ball.
Second time we've seen a bad exchange on a shotgun play from CK with the center quarterback exchange.
3:41 remaining here in the first half. CK with a 21-3 lead. They're on their own 15, and they have a good 15 they have to get for a first down. Tries to break it on the outside, but there's a flag that joins him as he's tackled.
Yeah, a flag came out before the tackle started, which would probably lead it to be a hole instead of a face mask or something like that.
DeAndre Sincere with the run. It's going to probably be moved back. Hold as you predicted.
And this is going to put CK in a really rough position because they really want to try to either run this clock out or at least put Capital in a bad spot and make them try to get a lot of yards.
I don't think Capital's going to accept it. And they are not. I was watching them speak to the referee. That makes it 3rd down and still 15. Not a bad idea because you don't want to give them more downs because then they can maybe run that clock out.
Especially when CK has shown that they can make some explosive plays happen.
Just giving it to the running back, keeping it pretty safe right now. Gets it out to the 20. And we'll exchange teams out there. The punting team coming on for Central Kitsap.
Yeah, interesting call by Capital to decline the penalty because they do gain the time, but they lose the 10 yards. And we've seen their offense move successfully, but not fast. They've been moving on the ground. And so it'll be interesting to see now with a little bit of a longer field for their offense to go and limited time available if they go back to trying to do some more trick plays maybe or some passes.
Capital calls a timeout trying to save the 3 minutes and 9 seconds that remain. And on the exchange, they will also have the clock stop. So that'll give them a little bit under 3 minutes to try to go. We don't know how far yet until we see that punt. But it would have put them also in a very difficult position for punting. But I think they were just more concerned with they didn't expect them to get the first down, which they did not. And number 2 back to kick. Punting is Caleb Bates. I believe he is Mr. All-Purpose this evening. Oh, they are, yeah. I had this fear that they were not punting at first. That's not going to go very far. It's shanked to the side. One of the coaches makes the catch. This may work out quite nicely for Capital right now.
Yeah, Capital coach is looking pretty smart right now. Ball went out of bounds at about the CK's own 40.
Well, they're going to say it was actually out at the 35 because that was the angle that the referees saw. And Capital will have the ball with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the first half. 1st and 10 on the Central Kitsap 35. They could easily cut into the lead with this. 21-3 lead for the Central Kitsap Cougars. Now this amazes me that they have to look over to the coach for what the play is when, don't you think they called it on the sideline? Gonna try the run again. Nice patience by the Central Kitsap defender.
Yeah, and it looked like there was going to be some room to that side pre-snap as Capital had 3 wide receivers off to the left, and there wasn't really anybody on the right side for CK right now, but a good job of the defensive end getting in and containing the play.
Yeagle in on that stop again, 2nd and 7. Clock is running with 2:36 remaining. Erickson in the shotgun. He has number 40 back there as one of his running backs. Finds his running back on this side, and it is not complete. Throws the pass to Broxton, and Broxton saw an opening and I think started running before he caught that ball.
Yeah, interesting play because right when they didn't hand it off, the CK linebackers immediately started to step back and go into coverage, which left Broxton open to the side. And it looked like a decent pass, looked like it led him, but it was a little low and just, miscommunication right there again.
Broxton goes off to the sideline. That did stop the clock at 2:18. 3rd and 7. Still need to get a first down to continue this drive. A lot of motion right there by the Capital receivers. I see a blitz, but that was picked up nicely. And not only was that caught, they got out of bounds. Number 9, Cody Jenkins with the reception.
And that was a great play by Capital, a nice little comeback, back shoulder throw that the quarterback doesn't have to read the coverage or anything. He can just plant his back foot and wing it, and it was a really well-placed ball.
That's going to be first down for Capital. Immediately they're back up to the line. That stopped the clock when he went out of bounds. 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Lots of time. And they believe that as they take the running play that's going to gain 3.
And Capital can afford to slow down a little bit, let some clock run, just to assure that in case it doesn't work out for them, if they do have to take a field goal, that they leave CK with under a minute, or ideally under 30 seconds.
I'm not sure if Capital has any timeouts left because that particular light is not working on the scoreboard tonight. I know they've taken at least 2. Out to the sideline, found him, but excellent work by number 44. We have called his name before, Isaiah McGee.
Yeah, and he would have been, had the last running back made that catch, Isaiah McGee was the one tracking over there, and this time he got there a little bit faster, and once the running back caught it, just a perfect quick stop. So it appears that Capital did have one more timeout as they have just used it.
Either that or somehow they've gotten a 4th out there, but at a minute 24, Capital's called a timeout. They will have it says 3rd and 8, and they are on the 19, so have made a foray into the red zone for the first time this evening.
Yeah, this is kind of a dangerous spot because they really do need to try to pass it if they want to get the first down. But we're at that point where the field is just starting to shrink on them, and those safeties are coming up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to call like a timing route to the middle of the field like we've seen CK do, or if they go for a draw and try to catch CK off guard.
CK went with a blitz, not on this previous one, but the prior one, and we'll see what kind of guts they have on blitzing or if they will just play a little bit more protective, a zone. Erickson back, looking for a receiver. He's going to go long. Number 4 is open, but the pass is overthrown. Jack Collard could have had the route, and it looked good, but just a little bit too much air under that pass.
Yeah, kind of an interesting route he took. He kind of got open and slowed down a little bit. And it wasn't the best pass in the world, but, kind of got a little short-armed at the end. It would have been nice to see him maybe try to lay out on a big situation with it being 3rd down, knowing that it was your only chance to have a touchdown.
Capital looking to put a couple points up on the board. A minute 19 left. Their kicker's in. He's got it low, and it goes.
Nice, a good 36-yard field goal. Looks like he probably could have made it from about 40, 41, 42. Nice little leg.
Van Soderberg with 3 more points up on the board, and that's certainly going to make them feel a little bit better going into halftime. The score 21-6 in favor of Central Kitsap.
Yeah, and Capital really needs to have a good couple defensive plays right here. Don't let CK get some big yards right away, because if they do, they'll try to push it. And, right now where Capital is, if they can go into half down 21-6, getting the ball, then, maybe you score to start the second half, and then all of a sudden you're right back in it, down 1 touchdown.
CK going out with their receiving team. And it is Soderberg who also does kickoffs.
Be interesting to see if they kind of just do a little squib kick up the middle and try to get it to one of those linemen.
Well, when they've seen one run back take it all the way to the house, they certainly might not want to kick it back to Sincere again. Minute 14 remaining in this first half of the doubleheader and homecoming night for Central Kitsap Cougars. The reception by the CK running back, taking it forward, takes it out to the 25. That is Sincere again.
Yeah, Capital playing with a little bit of fire, kicking it right to him. Not sure if he was trying to get it to the end zone, and maybe it didn't go far enough. But yeah, right to Sincere's lap, and it looked like for a second he might be able to get something, but a good job by the coverage team.
Well, you always like if you can make it past the 20. They're out at the 25, but only a minute 8 remaining. See if CK is going to try to add to their lead. Instead, they're going to hand it off to the first man through. He gets a couple yards. Not a bad run whatsoever.
Yeah, nice little delayed handoff run. Looked like it went to Blas?
Roki Blas is.
Roki Blas.
If Paul Stenson says it that way, it's got to be right. correct?
Yeah.
He is our master, so we will go with his pronunciation.
Yep. And then CK goes with a timeout, so it looks like they maybe want to try to get some points out of this drive.
It's one of those, if you don't get anything on that first run, then you just run out the clock. But they are out to the 33.
Yeah, and we've seen again their touchdowns come on big plays. Only one touchdown from the offense. So out of the 21 points, the offense only responsible for 7, but it did come off of a big play. So see if maybe they can, just get Capital in a bad position and try to get a nice 20, 25-yard run here.
They've had some good drives where they've moved it down the field, so that's always nice to see. Mark Keel in his 16th year has assistants Eric Schutte, Justin Bryan, Hugh McInnes, William Morris, and Les Archer. A ton of volunteers and just some great people there at Central Kitsap here on homecoming night. Gonna do the run again up to almost the first down. We'll see what they say. Roki Blas one more time. And the man in the white hat says that's a first down. Stop to reset the chains, and they have wound the clock. Whether or not CK is totally aware of that, I'm not sure. Tyler Tubbs taking his time. Looking downfield, seeing if he can find an opening, and that is not gonna hit his receiver. He is covered by Jack Collard.
Yeah, really nice play call though. He had Caleb Bates one-on-one, threw it just a little bit too far, but at this point in the game, if you have a chance to throw it and they don't got a safety overhead, you take it, and just a little bit too far.
Collard with a nice job of covering him right on top of Bates. That will stop the clock with 32 seconds. Again with the run, it's McGee bringing it forward.
He's short of the first down, so the clock will keep going.
CK actually still has 2 timeouts, and they are going to call one of them. 22 seconds remaining here in the first half. What has gotten to be a cool evening, a little bit of a breeze out there. It is not raining. That's a positive for these guys right now. And always a positive for the fans as well. A good group of people here for homecoming tonight.
Yeah, another week, another nice night for football, What more could you ask for?
It spit on them at South Kitsap last week, but we have been to just some beautiful evenings here in the Pacific Northwest. Game of the week brought to you by the Kitsap Sun and Peninsula Subaru. Our student athletes showing themselves to the world. Score of 21-6 in favor of the Central Kitsap Cougars. At the moment, winning the battle of the Cougars, and Capital going to get the ball after halftime. But CK trying to make a drive here at their own 43, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they try to run and get the first down or go back to the play action well and get some single coverage.
Just hung on to, but that was sniffed out. Number 62 in on the tackle, David Inu.
Yeah, and that's going to end up taking us to half, but kind of a lucky play by CK2 because that could have been really bad if they were to just have fumbled that ball or not have made that communication between each other, because it would have set them up with Capital a chance to at least kick a field goal or something.
Well, they did know that they could run out the clock since Capital did not have a timeout. So at the end of 2 quarters of football on this first Friday in October, the Central Kitsap Cougars with a 21-6 lead. And we will be bringing to you that second half shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from near and far to the homecoming of the 2015. Our first card. Playing a variety of instruments. Her other interests include American Sign Language and reading. She enjoys creative writing and aspires to become a published author that creates a story as beloved as Harry Potter. She's accompanied by Christian Schwieterman. He's an active, well-spoken student. He is equally at home in the classroom as the track or cross-country coach. He participates in ASB as the vice president for the senior class, always trying to improve. Also his own ambition. And Ryan Zetti. Ryan is actively involved and enjoys his time in band, ASB, Youth Suicide Prevention, Bullying Prevention, and the Gender Safe Alliance. After high school, Ryan plans to expand his mind by meeting various people and experiencing life as a servant to the well-being of not only himself, but other people as well. For the gas money. In between your soccer games, ASB meetings, and daily naps, you can find Hannah petting various dogs and enjoying brunch, her favorite meal, no matter what time of the day. In our next card, we have Matthew John Lyler. That likes to hang out and helping his best friend as a manager for the football team. In his spare time, you can find him cheering on other CK's sporting events down in the river, bottom of skate flies at Red Robin with England, or swimming down the green pie shade with his saxophone represent Charlie. He's accompanied by Allison Dove. For Allison, the music program here at Central Kitsap has been a significant part of her life. It has allowed her to meet lifelong friends and pursue her love of music. The director, Mr. Woods, has inspired her to her limits, not only in band, but in other classes as well. In part number 4, whether it's on the football or baseball field, hanging out with the homies, or walking down the hallway, Kendall is always trying to have fun and keep a smile on his face. He's accompanied by Helen Keaton. Helen's involved in band, sailing, and ski school. You can find her in the Winter Honor Society. She loves taking advantage of the challenging classes of Central Kitsap and the multitude of opportunities for extracurricular. Her favorite thing about Central Kitsap is the kindness and passion and dedication of the students and the staff. In car number 5, we have Nathan Moore, who spends most of his time with his family. He's made from the beginning of his school journey. When he's not in school, he spends time making accompanies Dina Kendra, the Rachel Zador. Whether it is hanging with the squad or not to be showing the crowd how great and how really she is at playing with her team, or trying to have a dance off with random people, you'll find her making the best out of any situation when it looks like she hates everything. In card number 6, we have Cameron Carroll. Whether he's on a long run with his throw, shooting hooks with his head, or chilling with his main torture, Cameron is enjoying the life God bless him with. He accompanies Madison Shorter. And what she likes most about Central Kitsap is that it truly is the best place for every student to find his or her voice. Madison has danced since 2nd grade, loves cats more than herself, and always wins the card game Speed. In card number 7, we've got Nicholas Roberts, and whether he's collecting coins, singing off tune, or watching cars, contact Nick for car washing inquiries, $10 inside out, I don't know, complimentary air freshener included. You can be sure that Nick always takes life to the fullest. His future plans are to attend the University of Washington and play baseball. Lina Stammerall, whether she's laughing at anyone and everyone's stupid jokes, improving the school with your tutor ASC, or spending time with her friends, you can always find Elena with a smile on her face, making the most of every moment. Her future plans are to figure out what her future plans are, and to continue enjoying her future plans and what life she's done. In card number 8, we've got our homecoming judges, Ella Herman. Ella loves ASB, being a part of choir, especially jazz choir, and all the friendships she has made. She would like to thank Madam Lawrence for being such a wonderful person and helping us pass the 18 freshmen. And she would also like to thank her mom for sacrificing so much and always supporting her. Ellen hopes to attend a 4-year university and study either biomedical engineering or environmental engineering. She's accompanied by homecoming Jew, Alex Ellis. And as a songwriter, Alex prides himself on having a way with words and hopes to inspire people with his kindness and his compassion. His inspiration comes from his mother, Annette, and teachers like Mr. Schmidt, because they simply believe in him and push him to be the best he can be. Alex hopes to leave Central Kitsap with a positive impact on not only the student himself, but the students themselves as well. In card number 9, our homecoming princess, Star Rosenberg. Whether throwing the javelin, shooting trees, or hitting up Applebee's with the homies, you'll always see Star living life to the fullest. She likes to thank her family for putting up with her sarcasm and being there for her during the good and the bad times. She'd like to give a special thanks to God for making all things possible. And she's accompanied by homecoming Prince Abraham Shannon. Abraham's greatest passion at Central Kitsap is ASB. He truly treasures the friendships he's made and the experience he's had in ASB. He loves spreading a culture of selflessness by serving the student body. In our final part tonight, we have our homecoming queen, Sherry along with the inspiring people, both students and staff, that put a smile on his face every day. Ladies and gentlemen, the homecoming chorus for Homecoming 2015.
welcome back to West Sound TV's presentation of the Game of the Week High School Football 2015. We are at Silverdale Stadium. Everything down below us is in orange and black because it's Central Kitsap Cougar Homecoming. Happy to be bringing this to you live on the internet thanks to the kitsapsun.com and Peninsula Subaru. We've got, for this third quarter, Kitty's going to do some camera. Back on the microphone, and on that other microphone, Mr. Spencer Anderson. And Spencer, pretty solid first half for the Central Kitsap Cougars.
Yeah, Central Kitsap scored in all three phases. They ran the opening kickoff back, they had a pick six, and then they threw a touchdown too. So kind of an interesting game so far because Capital's defense hasn't played bad, yet they find themselves down, 15 points.
Well, and Capital only came out with 2 field goals in that first half, compared to 3 touchdowns for the Cougars. Both 3A Narrows League teams. And I can't believe we are halfway through this season already, the regular season.
Yeah, every year it goes quicker.
It sure seems like it. Wow. Anyway, at the beginning of the third quarter here, the Central Kitsap Cougars lead the Capital Cougars from Olympia 21-6.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how Capital attacks because, they weren't able to put the ball in the end zone, and there's no way they're going to win this game if they can't at least put 1 or 2 in the end zone.
And Capital was able to move the ball, but they just weren't able to move it all the way. And CK kicking off to start the second half. That's kind of a short one, but it takes a great Central Kitsap bounce. Picked up at about the 23-yard line by Capital.
Yeah, Zach Smith with a pickup and short return. CK tried to do this in the first half. They kind of squibbed it down the right side, and they almost had a chance at it. And the same thing happened here, as Capital didn't jump on it right away.
Yeah, Capital, of course, in the visiting white and red. CK in the home black and orange. First down for the Capital Cougars. Ball is at about their 34-yard line. And freshman Grant Erickson, number 16, starting out this second half at the QB spot. It's going to be a handoff to that back running back, number 43 for the Capital Cougars, Dexter Morton.
Yeah, we noticed at halftime, number 6 for Capital, Roy Broxton Jr., who started the game at running back, was kind of walking off the field slowly. And, we haven't seen him since the end of the first quarter, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes back in for Capital or if they have to use these other 2 running backs.
That would be Willie is number 6. And, yeah, he made some pretty nice runs there when he was in the ball game. Oh, coming around this near side. Number 43, and right away the hanky goes in.
Yeah, Dexter Morton finding room, about a gain of 4, but we'll see what the flag is.
Fred Perkins, man in the white hat, says holding against Capital.
That's a really rough play for Capital because we've seen them be able to run the ball well and get 5-6 yards, but they haven't been able to get those big chunk plays. So 2nd and 19 is a pretty big deal right now for them.
And the Central Kitsap Cougars won the toss at the beginning of the game, and unlike you usually see, they chose to take it right away. And as it turned out, that was the 90-yard touchdown run by DeAndre.
Yeah, they had a special teams play that they were itching to run, and it worked out well for them.
It worked out real well for them. Second down and 15 to go. That one short. Intended for Smith.
Yeah, dangerous pass from Erickson. Good that it was forward, though, so the ball wasn't live, but just a short, unconfident throw to start the second half, which isn't what you want to see.
Just underway in quarter number 3 here at Silverdale Stadium. Game number 2 in our doubleheader. The Olympic High Trojans took care of the Port Angeles Rough Riders in game number 1 to remain undefeated.
Olympics look really good this year.
They are, yes indeed. Erickson's got it. And he thought he wanted to pass, but he pulled it back down, and that gave CK plenty of time to get into the backfield and drop him.
Yeah, and that's the same kind of play we saw on his pick six earlier in the game, where it just takes him a couple seconds to set up when he's right into his left and he's throwing with his right arm, and it gave just enough time for the CK defender to get to him.
So that's going to bring up 4th down, ball back to the Capital 21-yard line. And they will kick it away. CK waiting to get it at about their own 40. Oh, we got a pair of hankies coming out. Pretty good punt.
Yeah, it takes a nice Capital bounce, but it's going to come back, and I think CK is going to make him re-kick it as Capital had a man running onto the field as the ball was snapped.
Yeah, this would be one that I think you might want over if you were CK, since it rolled down to about the 11-yard line.
Yeah, really nice punt.
Yeah, the Men in Stripes now are discussing it. And the call was motion, illegal procedure, and that should move him back 5, and like you said, re-punt.
Yeah, and now the CK punt returner can back up a few more yards as that one sailed over his head and get a better jump on this one.
Looks like it's Serrano back there for CK. He's on inside about the 39-yard line on CK side of the field. Oh, man, look out. What a beautiful rush.
Yeah, Baja with the pickup off the block, and was he brought down at the 1-yard line, they're going to say?
Well, they're going to say that he can't move the ball forward in the high school game, because if he had, those 2 arms would have gone up for the touchdown. But what a great rush on that punt there.
Yeah, it took him a long time to get the punt off, too. It was kind of strange. Like, it was a good, clean grab, and then it took him an extra 1 or 2 seconds to try to get the punt off, and CK right on it. Special teams coming up big for Central today.
So that should turn the ball over to CK on the 10-yard line of the Capital Cougars at the 10-minute mark here in number 3.
Capital, that one guy that wasn't on the field for that first punt, lost him about 70 yards in field position.
Oh, man. He might be having to run some extra laps in practice. Pick up about a yard on that one. That was Kendall Yeagle.
Offense for CK just kind of getting the legs under them, running the first play they have in the second half.
Looks like they're going to keep it put it at the original line of scrimmage. Tubbs at QB again here in the second half. Tyler puts a man in motion. Oh, man, that was a good hit. Number 50 for the Capital Cougars, Nate Smith.
Yeah, Capital's defensive line stepping up big time on the sudden change in the field position for him really quick. Interesting to see what CK does here now. They're at about the 12-yard line, so the quarterback will be throwing from about the 18, see if they take a chance and throw it up in the end zone.
Well, they can get a first down, but they've got to get it to inside the 1-yard line.
CK's short passing game was working for him earlier, too.
Tubbs short, drop back, and I guess didn't find anybody quick enough because he hung on to it. Picked up a yard or 2, but not enough to get anywhere near that goal line or even the first down marker. So the kicking team out for the Central Kitsap Cougars.
And CK will take that from Tubbs. You know, if they're down 7, you really might want to see him try to force one in there. But being up right now, having the momentum, if the pass isn't there, he just settles down, puts it on the left hash mark for the kicker, and just a good job.
Kevin White kicking for the Cougars. A little high on the snap. And that one was off to the left side of the crossbars. So the Capital D boy, they really made a big difference that time for the Capital Cougars.
Yeah, that's a big stand, and
That was
hopefully the
huge.
offense can respond so that later on we can look back and say that was a really important part of the game.
That was a huge stand for the Capital defense, and to hold them to 0, not even the field goal. So Capital maybe will get a little momentum here off of that defensive effort.
Yeah, and we didn't see the CK kicker attempt any field goals in the first half. He kicked a couple extra points, but that was his first field goal attempt of the game.
Well, we got a new QB in now for the Capital Cougars. They'll start with a handoff. Good defense by the Central Kitsap Cougars. And that new QB is Cody Jenkins.
Yeah, they might see that they need to throw it a little bit more. Maybe they're putting in a quarterback with a little better arm, knowing that they're going to have to try to come back.
Now, Cody's a senior. Grant was a freshman. So it's kind of surprising to see him out there in the first place. CK coaches up here in the booth want them to change their stance. They did. Oh, look out, up through the line, and yardage galore for the Cougars.
Yeah, Dexter Morton right up the gut. And CK earlier had been playing with a couple deep safeties and almost giving them that 4 or 5 yard run. But on that play, the box was pretty full. They had 7 in it. So very interesting to see Capital get a big gain off it, especially going right up the gut.
Well, it kind of looked like CK was a little out of where they should have been to begin that play. And Capital certainly took advantage of it, moving it out to the 47-yard line. First down. Up to the air. Oh! Ball knocked down before it got anywhere near the intended receiver.
Yeah, single coverage on the left side, running just a little button hook route. Had the guy, a good job by the CK defensive end, putting his arms up.
Looked to me like the receiver was open if he'd been able to get it to him there.
Yeah, and that would have been a nice little 8, 9 yard gain, setting up a second and short where they could have opened up the playbook. But now second and long, they'll have to, dig down a little deeper.
And coming over to this near side, going up to the air. That one, oh, but a flag is thrown and in CK territory. And we will see.
This will be an interesting call. It looked like the ball got past the line of scrimmage, but I'm not sure if he was out of the pocket or not.
Offensive pass interference.
Oh,
Ball block in the back.
Interesting to see if CK will accept this or if they'll decline it and let it be third down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to accept it and march him back. Pass interference, a big march off. Moves Capital back to the 32-yard line, and third down now at 32. Well, quite a ways to go.
Yeah, this is the second drive in a row
25-30.
in the second half where Capital has had a big penalty that's put him in a deep spot. And we saw them move on offense in the first half so good when they were able to get 4 or 5 yards, and they're just putting themselves in a bad position.
What are you doing, Caleb?
Jenkins, handoff, and a little bit of yardage picked up there, about 3 or 4. But that's not going to cut much off of that huge deficit for Capital.
Good job by the CK defensive line as they were kind of playing a little more of a prevent just to not give up the first down. And normally when that happens, you'll see a team get, 8 to 10 yards.
Well, in this case, Capital needs to get about 22 to get to a first down. And the whole team's looking over to the coach. And not sure. Well, it appears that nobody is sure they're going to call a timeout. which is probably the better thing to do there. It's like you said, Spencer, they have not been going the right direction on their offense.
Yeah, they run, well, from what we've seen, a pretty basic offense where they get in the same formation, they look over their coach, and he signals one of, 4 or 5 different option plays. And so CK's been able to contain it, because when you can't contain it, offense like that can just roll right over you. But CK's had enough speed to be able to really be on top of the ball tonight.
And so far, CK has done a pretty good job at not letting that run from Capital pick up a whole lot of yards. That was really one of Capital's better plays in that first half, was just running it up through that tackle guard position.
Yeah, and after we saw Broxton go out in the end of the first quarter, they've had, one good drive really without him, but haven't been able to pick up that constant traction they were getting with him in there.
Yep, you are right. Broxton not in the game. Senior Jenkins quarterbacking. It's the reverse over to that far side, and they'll pick up a little bit of that yardage.
Yeah, this is the first time we see Capital kind of, expand their play calling a little bit, and they get a nice, 10, 15-yard gain, but good job by the CK linebackers squeezing that sideline.
That was Zach Smith for Capital, and that'll bring up a 4th down now, and a lot of yards to go for a first. In their own territory, Capital will kick away. Soderberg, punter as well as the kicker. And it's picked up at about the 18-yard line. Cut back. Nice job on the cutback. Oh, yeah, we do have a yellow hanky out there. Nice job, though, on the run back there.
Yeah, you brought it out about the 32, but it looks like there's going to be a block in the back or a hold. Probably take it back to about the 15 or the 10. We'll see what they call.
Serrano carrying it for the Cougars. Yeah, we'll see what Fred and the crew come up with out there. Oh, pick it up.
Looks like they might be picking up one of the flags
Yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
forcing another one.
You're right. I did not see what the second one was. It's against the Central Kitsap Cougars. And it'll move the ball to, well, I guess they're not sure where they're going to place it.
Kind of like that hat game when you go to the baseball stadium and you look up and they have the ball under one of the 3 hats. You don't know which one's going to end up under. They'll have the ball somewhere between the 32 and the 21.
And it looks like it's going to be about the 23 is what they have decided on. And that's where Central Kitsap will begin first. And I never did you see the call for that second flag?
It looked like a block in the back.
Okay. And our camera person, Kitty Campagna, confirms it. Tubbs with the handoff up through the middle. Isaiah McGee.
Yeah, good job by Capital's defensive line. And this is pretty much what we saw in the first half. If you take away the big kickoff return and the pick 6, we saw a good offensive defensive position field position battle going on, which is what this third quarter's been, as we're halfway through it and there's been no scores yet.
Well, that second quarter especially was one of those grinder quarters there for both sides. Going to the air for Tubbs. He's looking. Oh, the nice job.
Yeah, a little
The
dump off
safety
to
valve.
Isaiah McGee gain of about 8. And we saw Tubbs again have a receiver kind of open downfield, just like short of the goal line, and he holds it back to protect the ball. Don't want to throw an interception. You're up 15. You're at home, and then finds a nice little dump off. Good job by the quarterback.
So it'll bring up third down and about 2.5, 3 yards to go for the first. Oh, look out! Right up through the middle to the 50, the 45, the 40. Oh, and finally, Isaiah McGee run out of bounds, but he'll take it down to the 9-yard line. That was a nice play.
Great play call. He really hit the hole with some speed because you saw a couple of the linebackers watching the man motion across, and their eyes were off of him.
Yep.
And by the time they hiked it, he was by him.
Yep, he was right through that hole. Good job, and Central Kitsap in the red zone once again. Now, last time, the Capital D held them when they were down here. So we'll have to see. First down goal to go for the Central Kitsap Cougars on the Capital 9-yard line. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them there. And looks like they'll pick up a yard or so on that one.
Yeah, Capital D tightening up again once we get into the red zone.
Second down for CK. 4-minute mark here in third quarter.
It'll be interesting to see if maybe they run one of those motions again, but hand it off to him and try to stretch the field a little bit.
Yeah, the coach up here in the booth doesn't like the set. Tubbs with the handoff to the running back, and nice tackle there by 44 for Capital, Jared Gearhart.
Yeah, it looked like he could have had something on the corner for a second, but a good job by the Capital D staying in their lanes.
So that's going to bring up third down. Ball is going to be placed on, it looks like, the 7.
And on their last possession, we saw them miss the field goal to the left, so it'll be interesting to see if they do a run to the right to try to get it a little more centered just in case they don't get the touchdown.
All right, Tyler Tubbs up to his stance there in the shotgun position. Man in motion, handoff to the running back going right up the middle, number 32, Roque Blas. And there we are again. The Capital defense has held Central Kitsap down at the 9-yard line. Ball is currently going to be just about where it was, the 7, which means fourth down and an attempt at another field goal for Kevin White. They didn't get a whole lot off of that hash mark, but just a bit maybe. There we go. And that's good. So Central Kitsap adds another 3 on the board at the 2:17 mark here in the third period to lead 24-6 over the Capital Cougars. Well, Capital Cougars held the Central Kitsap Cougars for 3 again inside the 10. At least this time Central Kitsap came away with some points.
Yeah, and they managed to keep it a 2-score game if they get it, and then they go for 2 both times. So they just given themselves that little sliver of hope if they can get a couple big pass plays going in a row on offense.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if Coach Johnson from Capital does a platooning style thing with his quarterbacks. Obviously, the freshman, Grant Erickson, in the first half, and now they've got the senior out there, Jenkins.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out if that was just a game situation decision or if he, bumped a finger or something and wasn't able to come back in.
Well, maybe too, they just thought maybe a little more experience out there might help. course, the Capital offense didn't show a whole lot of life here in the first 10 minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah, every time they wanted to, they would shoot themselves in the foot and they had the holding penalty, and then they also had the offensive pass interference penalty.
All right, CK getting ready to kick off. Good kick. Picked up at about the 3-yard line by Capital. Out to the 30. Oh, walking the tightrope, finally going out of bounds, but a nice run back by Zach Smith.
Yeah, CK did a good job staying in their positions, not giving up any big lanes, but they just didn't get down there too quick.
And I believe this is probably some of the better starting position this quarter for the Cougars. Ball will be on their own 33-yard line. First down with 2:11 left to go in the third. Pretty tight line formation there. Jenkins with the handoff over that left side, and pretty solid D by the Central Kitsap Cougars.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see Capital stay in this same pretty much formation for the entire game, because they have 2 running backs in there, which allows CK to keep an extra guy in the box. So when they're running into it, they're running into unfavorable numbers. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe they split one of the wide receivers out wide a little bit more later in the game.
Second down for Capital. Senior Cody Jenkins quarterbacking. Across the middle to the 40-yard line. Good catch by Zach Smith.
Yeah, another timing route. This one wasn't blocked, though. So we've seen the quarterback have a couple nice timing route passes. It'll be interesting to see if they keep trying to do that or if maybe they go for the big shot pretty soon.
Third down now for Capital, and they've got about 3 yards to go to get a first. Still in their own territory.
Tell Bar to get to 7.
Jenkins will go to the air again. He's going long. Or wanted to. Had to pull it back down and come around the corner on this near side. And it's going to be close. He's going to be about a yard short, it looks like, of a first down.
Yeah,
That's what they signal.
They tried to go for that big shot right there. They did not have a safety help on the left side, but the way the pocket moved, it kind of forced him to run right. And he kind of was a little bit awkward with the ball when he was running. So he definitely looks more of a passing quarterback than a running quarterback.
Over there, Alika. Back up, Alika.
Fourth down and a yard for Capital. And they're going to go for it. Again, up to the air, across the middle, ball. Not able to be held onto. I won't say dropped. That was a pretty hardcore pass to Zach Smith. And the Central Kitsap Cougars hold for 4 and will take over with 44 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Capital got the look they wanted. You know, they only needed a yard, and they had an easy 4, and the quarterback just threw it a little bit too hard. You could see that he saw it was open, and he wanted to get it in there.
The old proverbial mustard on the pass. All right, CK will take over. And CK leading 24-6. Ball is at the Capital 43-yard line. Handoff over this near left side, and a little bit of yardage for Kendall Yeagle. He'll pick up 1 or 2 on that.
Yeah, CK looks pretty content to just keep running and grinding this clock out.
Yeah, 24-6. You've got that luxury. On the other hand, Capital pretty much, I guess, feels they have to go to the air. They certainly tried it a few times there in the third.
Yeah, well, even when the running games have been working and they've been getting yards, they still only have 6 points on the board, so they got to switch it up.
Yeah, we have a timeout. Well, no, I guess they're just going to let the clock go down. And there it is, the end of the third quarter here at Silverdale Stadium. And the Central Kitsap Cougars lead the Capital Cougars 24-6. Here we go. It's the final quarter in regulation at Silverdale Stadium. West Sound TV presents high school football. Working with the Kitsap Sun, who is streaming it live on kitsapsun.com/GOTW Game of the Week. And as we get ready to begin the fourth quarter, the Central Kitsap Cougars lead the Capital Cougars 24-6. I'm the doctor, Doc Parr. Spencer's back on the camera, and Kitty Campagna on that other microphone.
So, Doc, for those of you people who've been watching it on the live stream, you now know how good Spencer is after you've watched me on the camera. And the scoreboard, where I tried to make it 28-6 instead of 24-6. But we're all learning again. It's been a while since I've been on that camera. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Well, yeah, plus Spencer gives us something to shoot for.
He does. He is just the gold bar for sure.
Okay, we're just underway here in quarter number 4, homecoming night for the Black and Orange. And the Black and Orange have the ball on the Capital 30.
Roque Blas with that run.
As we mentioned in the third quarter, with a 18-point lead, CK could be satisfied with just keeping it on the ground. Keep it safe.
Not a bad idea. That previous run by Tyler Tubbs got them the first down, and that's you just want to keep moving forward. First down after first down.
Uh-oh, snap is a little low, but Tyler grabs it, gets it away for a first down.
88, Dawson Krogh, that's at least his third reception, and that's kind of the same play he's been getting the ball on. A pretty safe pass still, but what a great job by Tubbs to pick that low snap up and make that throw.
All right, first down for CK. Ball is on the Capital 17. 6. And handoff to McGee. Tries to go over the right side guard position. And doesn't have much running room.
One of the Capital captains, Max Salcido, was in on that tackle, number 52.
You know, in a couple weeks, the Lincoln, who is also undefeated so far in the 3A Narrows and CKO matchup, and 2 former pro coaches, former pro players, coaching both those teams.
Oh, Tubbs had better get...
he's in trouble.
Now, he, I believe, is out of the box because he made it to this side of the hash marks.
I would say so.
That was kind of dangerous, though, the way he held that ball out there.
Yeah, we have the Mark Keogh, coach for Central Kitsap, and Mr. John Kitten.
I thought that was who you were getting at.
Well,
exactly.
both of them, former pro players. Yep. Now they're going to be competing. Well, what have been competing? I believe John started last year or the year before as the coach for Lincoln, the Abes.
Third down and 10.
And Tubbs is
blitz from the side.
Yeah, he's getting some real pressure. And, you know, all the talk about keeping it safe and running it the last 2 plays. I guess not
I
necessarily.
have no idea how he came across his body and got that to the receiver. I thought it might have hit the brand new turf, but it did not.
I know. I was thinking that too. It's not quite enough for the first, so they still got that 4th down marker out there, and it can't be more than a foot or two.
The Cougars of the orange and black wanting to have wanting to go for it. You can tell. I think they're going to do a measurement.
All right. Nope. Fred says 4th down.
Never mind.
Yeah. Now the interesting part is, do you go for it or do you just try for the field goal?
Looks like he's sending in his field goal kicker, Kevin White, again.
Add a few more points there.
Our officials in line with the goalposts. Five seconds will. Oh, and it's a fake.
Look out.
Number two
is get it now. That's Caleb Bates. And I'm not sure that was designed.
The original fake, or if maybe he just couldn't get control of it. So,
I think that
although I
looked
never
a
saw
little-
White head towards actual
You're
kicking
right.
position.
Yeah,
so
you're right. So maybe it was something they were giving a try to. Well, it didn't work though.
turnover
And
on downs.
that Capital defense once again 3 times now has stymied Central Kitsap within the 20-yard line.
Well, Spencer has pointed that out, that CK's had a lot of big plays and some defensive plays that have worked for him, but not able to get it done in the red zone.
And the big guy is back in, Erickson for Capital.
That running back was number 43, Dexter Morton, that time. Using a couple new running backs. He's a senior.
And we don't have any. Do we have? Let's see. Well, we don't for Grant. Have a height.
We don't have much of anything for
We're
Grant. We
lucky
happen to
that
know
Kitty
he's a freshman.
Lucky that you got 16. Since he's been out there quite a bit for the Capital Cougars. Hand off.
Oh,
Oh, there's some running room. And it's Dexter. He's out to the 40 to midfield. And finally going to be brought down by Central Kitsap, but into CK territory to the 41-yard line.
at about their own 40, number 5, Zach Smith, with an incredible block that opened that up even more.
Dexter Morton, he's been having some success carrying the ball. And you would think it would be Capital that would be looking to go to the air.
They've not had a lot of success and don't seem to be willing to go for that big play in the air at the moment. Still 8 minutes remaining.
Erickson with another handoff and a nice job there. 88 was in there immediately. Dawson Krogh slowed him down and helped out.
I think coach has said you're not going to be beat by him again. And
Well, they're going to lose a yard on that one. 2nd down and 11 coming up for the Capital Cougars.
trying to move one of their defensive men onto 17. He's number 11 breaking that up, Elijah McGee. Just a freshman.
Yeah, McGee is down. And you said it, they had to move somebody over on 17. That
We
was
saw
who
him
the
open, didn't we?
intended
Just he had
receiver
way
was.
too much space.
Yep. That was Christopher Schnellman. But right now, the training staff is out there checking the down CK Cougar. Elijah McGee. And he's up.
Ooh,
Doesn't look like he's in great shape, though, does it?
No, he's at an angle. Oh, it's an arm thing. It's
Maybe
kind of what it looks like.
dislocated
Ooh.
shoulders. Yeah, we shouldn't really speculate.
We won't.
but he is holding his arm gingerly.
He is.
Well, I'll bring up third down now, and that same 11 or so to go for Capital. They got the ball into CK territory to the 42. Grant Erickson in as quarterback.
Smith in motion. He goes forward too soon. I was pretty sure of that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like he turned up before the ball got out of the center's hands.
I don't think you get to do that. It's been close a couple times when he's been in motion, but that time definitely caught by the referees.
Yep. So that'll move Capital back 5, move the ball back to the 47. Third down now, and about 16 to go for that first. Erickson hands off to Morton. Morton's got some running room again. He's down to the 30, it looks like. Now, I think he was already down. Ball may have come loose over there.
Caleb Bates looked like he was in on that tackle. Morton had quite a bit of speed coming in at 5'8", 190 pounds.
He's picking up some yardage out there here. And they'll place it right at the 30-yard line. And that's a first down. Yep. So move the chains. 6:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter at Silverdale Stadium.
That one field goal that they did get this half looking pretty important right now.
Big old Elijah Susu there in the middle of that CK defensive line. Hand off to the running back. He's found some running room. It's Morton once again down to the 15. They are opening holes on that line of scrimmage, and Morton's doing a nice job of punching through.
For a passing team, you know, they've been doing a lot of running and having great success with Morton suddenly. Just a different look than what they've had out there earlier, and it seems as if Broxton is not coming back in. I think I see him over in a white sweatshirt over on the sideline.
First down for the Capital Cougars. Broxton over that right side. And once again, he picks up some yardage. This one is going to be close to a first down. Moves it down to the 5-yard line. It is a first down. It's going to be first and goal to go for the Capital Cougars. So now we'll see if the CKD can do what the Capital D did to them. Hold them. So far, I might consider giving it to Dexter Morton once again.
Caleb Bates is the only reason he didn't get into the end zone on that play.
Morton's right beside QB. Oh, no, he's in the back, and he's got it, and he is.
It's a touchdown.
All right, there's the two hands up. It is a touchdown for the Capital Cougars. Dexter Morton pulling it in. Dexter, I think, did most of the running that entire series.
Definitely. He had most of the yardage for that team, and he had such a nice job of waiting for the hole to happen. Just so patient.
And that's something, definitely something that you don't necessarily think about, but it is so important. You don't need to be just fast or just big and strong. You need to have the patience, especially when you're running on the inside like that, to see where that little sliver of a hole is to get that big 200-pound body through. Soderberg's kick is down and through for the PAT. And so first touchdown of the evening for the Capital Cougars comes at the 5:54 mark at quarter number 4. And that puts 13 on the board for the Capital Cougars. CK with 24, up by 11. But there's a fair amount of time left here in this quarter, Kitty.
Definitely 2 scores yet that have to be made, but you can look at a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal would tie it up.
And do we maybe throw in the onside?
Oh, they
somewhere?
could. You and I, we want that onside kick sometime, don't we? Yeah.
Except for when the Seahawks do it.
So Morton, just the strength behind that last drive.
He was, yeah.
The only drive that we've seen that has turned into a touchdown for Capital tonight. CK having a lot of guys playing both ways, so a little bit of fatigue probably taking effect right now.
We don't keep time, individual play time for each team, but it's been fairly even, actually, I think, I would say.
Time of possession seems like that. Yeah.
All right, so the Capital Cougars will kick away. It'll be Soderberg kicking. And
there it is.
He does the onside, goes to the 50, pretty good kick. But it looks like CK did their job and fell right on that ball, just past that, 10 yards.
Dawson Krogh making that recovery. That's huge. Part of the hands team out there. Not only laid down on the ball, he had his back such that it wasn't going to be knocked out either.
Yep, right there at the 50-yard line. It went exactly 10 yards.
Yeah. Pretty easy to tell, isn't it, whether it's gone the 10. Does it have to cross the 50, or does it have to just touch the 50?
It's a wide line, too.
It is a wide line.
All right, CK takes over at the first down. They'll pick up a couple on that first run.
McGee, a workhorse back there.
The other McGee, Senior McGee.
So all these teams sending in their plays with signals from the sideline.
Man goes in motion. Tubbs with the handoff. Oh boy, nice defense that time by Capital. And the first guy in there was number 62 for the Capital Cougars, David Anu.
A junior, 5'11", 250 pounds.
Wow, he was fast for 250 pounds.
He blew through his block. It wasn't happening. And again, Central Kitsap being extremely conservative right now. 4.5 minutes left in the game.
Third down and about 11 to go. Tubbs rolling out to this near side. He's got a receiver, but look out, it's picked off by Capital. Number 15 at the 35, 40, 45-yard line. And, oh boy, look out, Chase Martin.
I count 1, 2, 3 penalty flags on the field, so we'll see what that's going to result in.
They do appear to be, though, where the ball went finally, where the runner was stopped.
The last one, the first two might have been.
Oh, you're right. They are back there, aren't they?
Those might be some illegal blocks, but I am thinking that interception is going to count. Not sure when those came out. The CK players trying to listen in and the referees having a conversation. That really wasn't a bad pass. It just went off the receiver, and suddenly about the worst
thing that could happen to CK. An interception
it did.
By a team that had just scored.
Exactly. Mr. Momentum taking the place.
Okay, they're still discussing now. There's 3 flags out there, which doesn't necessarily mean 3 infractions.
No, not necessarily. They could easily, I doubt they are the same infraction.
The 2 in the back might be. Okay, illegal block in the back. And that appears to be the one that they're going to call against Capital.
And then a second one, which I do not recognize the signal with the arms straight out. And that's, wow, that's painful. 30 yards worth of penalties there, I think.
Arm straight out should be unsportsmanlike.
So those of you at home who have that DVR feature should go back and check out that play, see what all happened that might have caused those calls.
Yeah, because there actually was a bunch. The ball is moved back to about where it was originally intercepted by Martin.
Almost as good as a punt at this point.
Erickson's pass to the far right side over there. Little low and incomplete.
That's Bradley Dykstra out there who had the opportunity at the interception. Nice job of anticipating and getting in front of the receiver.
Clock is starting to become a major player. 4:16 left here in the fourth. Erickson going to the air again, and he had 2 receivers. And I believe they're going to say it was a catch. Good catch.
That's number 17 and number 5 are both over there.
Pass complete to Zach Smith.
It's actually 5 who caught it, Zach Smith.
3rd down for Capital.
Schnellman was 17 out there. 3rd down and about 2.5, 3 yards to go for the first, and another flag from the back judge. Now this might be delay.
That
don't
certainly
think so.
didn't take that long.
Didn't
Someone must
seem
have
to.
moved.
Penalty flag on the play.
Yep.
Illegal procedure.
Against Capital. Capital's going the wrong direction and wasting time. 3:43 left to go here in the fourth.
11 points separating these two teams.
2 scores. Grant Erickson back there. He's got 2 running backs. He's going to the air. And that one overthrows the intended receiver, which was Jack Collard.
Is incomplete. Malika Serrano covering on the play for Central Kitsap.
That'll bring up 4th down for Capital. And they got to go for it, even though the ball is on their own 24-yard line. Martin is behind the quarterback. Chase Vandever, the other running back. To the air again. Oh, right. He had the receiver wide open. Jack Collard. It was maybe a little low, but he was open.
Wow.
And that would have been plenty for a 1st down.
1st down and more. Obviously, it wasn't going to change the outcome by itself, but that is huge.
Wow. So the freshman may be a little wild on some of his passing, but he's a freshman.
He is a freshman.
He got some time to work.
Yeah, he had a good game against Foss, but that's not overly unusual in this Narrows 3A. They won 46-14, and the other 3 they lost pretty handily.
And CK on 1st down is going to punch it in for a little bit of addition there for DeAndre Sincere.
It would be a good bookend for the game, wouldn't it? Start it with a DeAndre Sincere touchdown and end it with a DeAndre Sincere touchdown.
And just like that first score, that didn't take very long.
No, that did not.
So Central Kitsap 30-13 now, and will attempt the PAT.
Happy homecoming crowd you can hear below. Pretty stoked right now.
Caleb Bates is the holder. And it should be good.
Boy, the holder was absolutely taken out on that. I'm not sure how that can be legal.
Well, we know last time, whether it was a designed play or not, Caleb tried running with it.
That is true. He's coming off okay with the, or at least that was number 3. That was White bringing off the tee.
All right, at the 3-minute and 13-second mark and quarter number 4, the Cougars put 7 more on the board to go up 31-13 over the Capital Cougars. Our Cougars from Silverdale, Washington, in the orange and black, at homecoming, at Silverdale Stadium, with a pretty good lead.
Nice palindromic score. We always have to point that out when we have those. I watched some other sporting event where the guy pointed it out, and I just cracked up. I didn't think anybody else was as nerdy as I am. So it's good. They are. They're out there.
You know, and I liked what the comment Spencer made in the third quarter about the scoring. Central Kitsap has done it in different ways, which is always good to see, and most of them on the big play.
Even that last one, just a really nice 24-yard run. So tougher when they got within like the 10-yard line and couldn't quite punch it in. White getting a workout with his leg this evening.
Ball picked up at about the 7-yard line by Zach Smith. He goes the other direction, and he's got some running room. He's out to their own 40.
That's the kicker there to meet him at the 42.
So Capital brings it out from about the 7-yard line to the 42-yard line, but they only have 3 minutes and 2 seconds left to work with, and now they're down by 3 scores.
Pretty sure Smith had a step counter on. He ran a lot of extra yards there just trying to add up more steps on it.
With the reverse, eh?
Exactly.
And there's a handoff to Martin. Yeah, that's a pretty good tackle there, young man. It's number 52 for CK, Derek T. Lovelace.
He's the only one who gets his initial there. I'm not sure why, and how many Lovelaces, Derek Lovelaces, are there out on that field. So
Yes, Derek
maybe
T.
it's for terrific.
Second down, loss of a yard on that for Capital. Move it back to the 41.
Capital just trying to get some positive yardage now. See what plays are working for him. Obviously, Martin was one of those that worked for him.
Up into the air and no connection there. That one was intended for Carson Ashton.
Number 17,
Oh.
Christopher Schnellman.
Oh, okay.
But it does stop the clock.
It'll bring up third down now. Yeah, Schnellman is a split receiver, wide receiver over to this near side. One on the other side and 2 backs with the QB. Goes to Mr. Morton, and he gets into CK territory.
He's going to be one of those who you look at the film on the next day. Well, these guys look at the film 10 minutes after the game now, the way everything's set up. And they've got it broken down into offense, defense, special teams within seconds. It's amazing, the technology, but they're going to have to like what Morton's done tonight.
Well, we have the 2-minute warning.
Not that there is such a thing, but it happened at exactly that time.
First down for Capital just inside midfield. Oh, there we go. Once again, Dexter Morton down inside the 30.
Kevin White bringing him down way deep in that secondary.
Man, Morton has been looking good.
Again, I think it's a little bit of fatigue on this Central Kitsap side. You can see that the holes, he just waits so nicely for the hole, and then he's got that little extra acceleration, and away he goes.
Dexter is a senior. All right, here we go. First down again for Capital. Fake the handoff. Erickson wants to go to the air.
Nobody open. Boy,
Nope.
what a great job by the secondary. That is a secondary sack all the way.
Yeah, poor old Grant took about 5 looks downfield and could not find anybody to get it to.
Well, they didn't have many guys out on the patterns. I counted 3, I think, out there, so that makes it really tough for your quarterback.
Yeah, they'll lose about 4 or 5 on that one. Second down now for Capital. Erickson, this time they barely let Morton get back to the line of scrimmage. And one of the guys in there was McGee.
So Kendall Yeagle grabbed the feet.
Yep. Third down now for Capital, and we have 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. Capital's got a couple more shots here to put some more points on the board. Erickson's going to go to the air again. He's going deep, and this time he finds the receiver down at the 12, the 10, and down to about the 4-yard line goes Zach Smith. 16 seconds. So Capital does have an opportunity here to put some more points on the board. And like I said, it always helps, to, even if you lose, to end up the ball game with a little bit of positive momentum. And right now, I would say the big positive is Dexter Morton.
Well, he's
for the
proven he
Capital
can
Cougars.
run, and then some nice receptions, but that one was Smith with the
Yep.
nice run. I thought he was going to get into the end zone. Nice job by the Central Kitsap defender to take him to the sideline. That's going to come
Erickson
across.
the middle.
Wow.
And he had the receiver on that one, as they say, and that was Smith again.
And Caleb Bates with the arm that comes across and
Just
rejects that ball.
Knocked it down. Second down now with 12 seconds left on the clock.
Caleb's been out there pretty much the whole game.
And Erickson's looking kind of tired too.
Who I would say Morton moved early, but no, I don't think any flags went out.
That pass was to Schnellman, but it was high. 9 seconds left. Third down. So they could get 2 more shots in at the end zone. No point in even thinking about a field goal.
I believe they have a timeout left, so they could do a run.
And, let's see, touchdown. The Capital Cougars, number 5 there. Zach Smith did the old reach to be sure the ball got across that goal line.
That was interesting, Doc. I was watching that develop, and he just went, established himself in a place. It was kind of like a pick where he did not let that defender get around him, and did a really nice job. Perfect pass to him, and made sure he got the touchdown.
And the PAT is good for Capital. So they put 20 on the board, down by 11, 31-20, but there's only 3 seconds left on the clock here. And all that will be the kickoff. And CK can pretty much put the W in the scorebook.
What a nice homecoming game for CK. I know they're not going to like that last touchdown, and the coaches will have some conversations with those guys, but they have played their hearts out, and as we discussed before, so many playing both offense and defense. It's been a long night, and by the end of this night, the wind came out a little bit. It got a little bit chilly. We are at, let me tell you, it is right now 10:30 p.m., and that's getting kind of late. It's past some of these guys' bedtimes, I think. Not mine, but probably the rest of them.
Second game in the doubleheader. And like I said, all Capital needs to do is kick it off and CK touch it, and the game will be over.
See some cars leaving the parking lot, getting a little head start on the big crowd that was here tonight. Great job by Jim Ferrati and his staff tonight to run 2 games.
There it is. And on the ground.
I think he's told to sit down. He did. Nicely done.
Yep, and he got his 3 seconds in.
Use up that clock.
And so Central Kitsap coming away with a 31-20 victory over Capital. They remain undefeated in the 3A division of the Narrows League. And their competition up there was Lincoln. They were also undefeated going into tonight. We don't know how they did in their game. But congratulations to Central Kitsap.
Well, next, Central Kitsap will have Shelton away, Lincoln at home. Put that on your calendar, October 16th. And then Foss and Wilson coming up. But on our game of the week, we will have Squim at North Mason next week.
The Bulldogs
Yeah.
taking on the Wolves, hosting the Wolves down there. I don't think it's a new football field, but new school.
All
down
kinds of
there at
other
North
new
Mason
stuff, let
High
me
School.
tell you. Yeah.
Well, this has been a fun night, and it was great to have a little ceremony for Paul Stenson at the beginning of the game. Again, what a great job Paul's done for so many years in the Central Kitsap community. Always enjoy working with him.
Well, the good news is he may be retiring from the school, but he is not retiring from up here in the booth. So he said that he's going to talk as long as they'll let him.
All right, well, we're West Sound TV working with the KitsapSun.com to bring you live streaming Game of the Week every Friday night. And want to thank Peninsula Subaru for helping to make that possible for the Sun to stream it live. And of course, you'll see it in replay on BKAT, thanks to us
Thanks to us.
at West Sound TV. And speaking of us, we got to thank Spencer for not only his great camera work, but for the time on the microphone, knowing the game is real nice.
It's fun to have him in both places, but I bet our viewers are pretty happy to have him back on that camera.
All right, well, Kitty Campagna on the other microphone, producer for Game of the Week here, and I'm the Dr. Doc Parr for West Sound TV saying, stay tuned, we will see you soon.